finally has landed.
Oh, I didn't see you there. You know, people always ask me, Mimi, tell us when Christmas starts. You think it's magic? Christmas spirit just fills the air? Not quite. I've been here making sure everything's in perfect order behind the scenes. You know I started early this year, but now it's time to kick it into high gear. Christmas starts now.
Excellent record, great song.
Thank
All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Thank you.
When you write a Christmas song, and you've written 3 of them on this album, you're out there now competing with Winter Wonderland and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Is that heavy pressure on a song, on a songwriter?
I don't look at it as competing, you know, I look at it as more of me giving my little contribution to the world of Christmas songs, and hopefully my fans will enjoy them, and you know, it'll be something for me to sing during the holidays, because I'm totally the hugest, you know, Christmas fanatic there is. My whole life I've always been really festive and really into the holidays. My mom always made the holidays like, you know, a great time of year for me and really special. So it was just, that was why I did this album, just really, you know, for myself. And it was fun. I wrote the songs last year over Christmas time. Now I've kind of like been having Christmas all year this year. It's been pretty cool.
Not a bad way to spend the year.
Yeah, really.
In an increasingly chaotic and bleak world, there's one time of year that never fails to bring me joy. And that's Christmas time. The tacky sweaters, putting up the Christmas decorations, and of course, Christmas music. It's one of those things that everyone loves to some degree. Even if you don't celebrate the holiday itself, you can probably name at least one Christmas song. It's a staple of the holiday season. And every year we seem to break out the Christmas music earlier and earlier, understandably so. The holiday season is a happy time, and the music associated with the season obviously brings forth feelings of warmth, nostalgia, and peace. What's interesting to me about Christmas music is that how a good chunk of it is mostly covers and renditions of classics like Oh Holy Night and Jingle Bells. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a reason why these classics have been redone over and over for 100+ years. They never get old. But with that being said, when an original Christmas song hits my ear, I take note. It's hard to write a classic hit song that stands the test of time, and even harder to write a Christmas classic that becomes just as heavily rotated as something like Jingle Bells. There's been more than a few Christmas originals that have become modern classics, but when the topic of Christmas music comes up, there's always one artist that almost instantaneously comes to mind. Someone who's objectively made Christmas music cool and not just a novelty. That artist is none other than Mariah Carey. In the holiday season of 1993 going into 1994, Mariah Carey was at the peak of popularity in the initial stretch of her career. With her self-titled debut album in 1990, Mariah had scored 4 consecutive #1 hits with Vision of Love, Love Takes Time, Someday, and I Don't Wanna Cry, being the first artist since the Jackson 5 at the time to have their first 4 singles top the chart. With her second album, Emotions, Mariah nabbed her 5th #1 single with the album's title track, while the album's 2 other singles, Can't Let Go and Make It Happen, both reached the top 10. Following her sophomore era, Mariah's 6th #1 came with her MTV Unplugged cover of the Jackson 5 classic I'll Be There in 1992. 1993 saw the release of Mariah's 3rd studio album, Music Box, and added 2 more #1 hits to her name with Dream Lover and Hero, as well as another top 5 hit with Without You. Just a mere 3 years into her career, Mariah Carey already had 8 #1 hits to her name, as well as several top 10 hits in the United States. The whirlwind success of the songstress stretched far beyond her initial debut, as many felt that she would inevitably fade into obscurity once her hype died down. Spoiler alert, it would be years before the Mariah Carey train would show any signs of slowing down.
But, you know, of course, you always hope that what you're doing, you know, people are going to like what you're doing and it's going to be successful and everything, but it has really surpassed what I thought it would do, definitely. I mean, it's always tough to think, well, how am I going to follow this or how am I going to top that? But I try not to think, you know, in terms of success. I try to think of in terms of, you know, making music that I have fun making and that I enjoy making. So, of course, you always hope that it'll be successful, but I can only do my best work and hope that people will like it. So we'll see what happens. I tried to do it in a really classic way, so that I didn't jump on really any trends like of the moment. I basically just did a Christmas album that I, would want to listen to year after year, because I'm always looking for really good Christmas albums at Christmas time, and it's usually like one song from this album, one song from that. It's rare to find one that you really like listening to the whole thing. So, I tried to do that on this album, do something that would stand the test of time, but,
After the success of Music Box, Mariah and her management at Columbia Records began planning further projects. The group discussed recording a Christmas album, but hesitated as such albums were typically released when artists' careers were waning. There was speculation amongst the public of a new Mariah Carey project in the works. Many expected a typical fourth album from Mariah, something that would be very similar in vein to her previous 3 albums. However, it was not until October 1994, only 1 month before her next album's release, that it was announced that Mariah Carey would be releasing a Christmas album. Initially, critics were shocked and confused. Many did not know how Mariah would fare as an entertainer across genres, as she had previously only been viewed as a pop star. Adding to the doubt was the fact that Mariah up until this point had only really experienced her core success in the United States. Her biggest single overseas, particularly in Europe, was the then recently released Without You from her 3rd album. Not to mention that at the time, to be at such an early peak of one's career and to decide to release a purely Christmas album was somewhat of a gamble. Nevertheless, Mariah was unaffected by the speculation and doubts. She stuck to her intuition and continued working on and promoting her forthcoming Christmas album in high spirits, confident in her work and vision. Mariah has expressed her belief in God and the connection she felt between music and spirituality. She felt that a Christmas album was finally a way to portray her spirituality through her music. In her 2020 memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, Mariah described tense moments during her childhood Christmases amid dysfunctional family dynamics. I set about creating my own little magical merry world of Christmas, she wrote. I focused on all the things my mother struggled to create. All I needed was a shower of glitter and a full church choir to back me up. She described her source of inspiration as wanting to capture that, quote, little girl spirit and those early fantasies of family associated with the Christmas season for her. The project's title would be incredibly simple: Merry Christmas.
He does exist!
They do exist.
Let's talk about your Christmas album. It's been selling incredibly worldwide, over 7 million copies. Are you excited?
It's pretty amazing considering that it's only been out for like 3 weeks. And when they told me that last night, I was very, happy, but kind of shocked. It's very cool. I had a good time making it. For me, it was almost more about, I want to make an album that I can wrap my presents to, and every year I'll have a Christmas album. Music has just always been like the driving force in my life. So thank God it's happened, and here we are.
Composed of 3 original songs and 7 covers, Merry Christmas boasted a variety of musical arrangements, sounds, and genres. Mariah's goal was to provide an album that would have a Christmas feel, providing a mixture of soulful tracks as well as fun and joyous holiday tunes. I'm a very festive person and I love the holidays. I've sung Christmas songs since I was a little girl. When it came to the album, we had to have a nice balance between standard Christian hymns and fun songs. It was definitely a priority for me to write at least a few new songs, but for the most part, people really want to hear the standards at Christmas time, no matter how good a new song is. The song Jesus, Oh What a Wonderful Child is a traditional gospel standard. The song was actually recorded in a church with many live backup singers and children playing tambourines and other melodious instruments. The goal was to produce a real church-flavored song. Mariah's love for gospel music really shines on this song. Miss You Most at Christmas Time, one of the album's original tracks, is a sad ballad in line with many of Mariah's previous hit singles at the time. The song features her singing about missing a loved one during the holiday season. She also recorded covers of classics such as Silent Night, Oh Holy Night, and Joy to the World.
I was up at the farm upstate where we did the video, and it was nighttime and I was just walking around, and I got the idea for the song because it was kind of like a very, the song is a very retro kind of cute little Christmas ditty, and it was just, I don't know where it came from. Sometimes things just come to me like that. Sometimes I'll think about I want to write a song like this or like that, but that melody just came into my head, the verse melody, and then I was walking around and I just went in and I had a little keyboard set up there and I just kind of finished the lyrics, and the melody just came pretty quickly. And then when I was finishing it, I would walk downstairs and look at all the Christmas type things and say, okay, what reminds me of Christmas? I need more Christmas words here. I need more Christmas references. So I'd put on different Christmas movies, or, I like to set the stage a little bit. Well, I would light the fire, I would put the tree on, I would go downstairs at 3 o'clock in the morning so I could be by myself, and put on maybe Miracle on 34th Street or It's a Wonderful Life, or actually my favorites are those, those Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman, like the puppet ones. I put those on. Very intellectually stimulating material there, but it's cool.
Without a doubt, the most popular and successful song from the album was an original composition titled All I Want for Christmas Is You. Released as the lead single for Merry Christmas on October 29th, 1994, the song is an up-tempo holiday love song that talks about wanting a loved one for Christmas rather than gifts or other material things. The song is by far one of Mariah's most famous songs, rivaling and perhaps surpassing the popularity of her standard hits. All I Want for Christmas Is You is one of the rare few original modern Christmas songs that has become a staple in the holiday canon, being almost a mandatory inclusion for any and all holiday playlists, right beside classics like Jingle Bells and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Being written and composed in a mere 15 minutes, All I Want for Christmas Is You received critical acclaim upon its release, with many pointing out how outstanding it was for Mariah to create such a refreshing and distinct Christmas classic. Since its release, the song has become a Christmas standard. The song was a success when first released, reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot Adult Contemporary chart in the United States and number 2 in the United Kingdom and Japan. As the era of music streaming took over, the song saw an unprecedented renewed success, now annually re-entering the charts worldwide in the weeks before Christmas, and has reached number 1 in over 30 countries, partially due to it being added to popular seasonal playlists. All I Want for Christmas Is You has broken the record for the longest gap between its initial release and reaching number 1, hitting number 1 on the charts 25 and 26 years after its release in the United States and the United Kingdom, respectively. The song has sold 16 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling digital singles of all time. As of 2023, the song's royalty earnings are estimated to be $100 million. It is also estimated that Mariah makes roughly $2.5 million yearly off the song alone. No touring revenue, no royalties from her other songs, just this one song. The song's significance caused it to be selected by the Library of Congress for inclusion in the National Recording Registry based on its, quote, cultural, historical, or aesthetic importance in the nation's recorded sound heritage. The impact of All I Want for Christmas Is You led to Mariah being dubbed as the Queen of Christmas by many, and since 2019, she has had a tradition of ringing in the holiday season every November 1st with her iconic videos on social media.
Santa! It's time! Woo! I don't want a lot for Christmas. It's time! Woo! It's time. I don't want a lot for
On Christmas Day 2018, 24 years after its release, the song set the single-day record for most Spotify streams with 10.82 million plays. After having been subsequently surpassed by Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber's I Don't Care, All I Want for Christmas Is You re-broke the record exactly a year later with 12.029 million streams in a single day. On November 24, 2019, the song won 3 records in the Guinness World Records for one of the best-selling and most recognizable Christmas songs, most streamed song on Spotify in 24 hours by a female artist, and most weeks in the UK singles top 10 chart for a Christmas song. In 2022, the song broke for a 4th time the all-time record for most streamed song in a single day on Spotify, receiving a mind-boggling 21.2 million streams in 24 hours, a record previously held by Adele's Easy on Me. With this, it became the first song in history to be streamed over 20 million times in one 24-hour period. In 2023, the song broke for a 5th time the all-time record for the most streamed song in a single day on Spotify with 23.7 million global streams. However, the record has since been broken by Taylor Swift and Post Malone's song Fortnite in April 2024 with 25.2 million global streams. In December 2021, the song became the first holiday song in history to reach 1 billion streams. Mariah Carey's Merry Christmas was released on October 28, 1994, and to date has sold 15 million copies worldwide, making it one of the best-selling holiday albums of all time. An often overlooked impact of the album and its smash hit single was its success overseas, as well as its crossover appeal for Mariah. The album garnered her recognition in various markets, including Christian radio and contemporary R&B stations, as well as extending her fame in Japan, where the album actually experienced most of its success. Merry Christmas became Mariah's first #1 album in Japan, where the album experienced its highest sales, selling 2.8 million copies, and became the 4th best-selling album in the country by a non-Asian solo artist. In 2010, a sequel album titled Merry Christmas to You was released as Mariah's 13th studio album. Like its predecessor, the album is composed of original songs mixed with covers of classics. Oh Santa was released as the lead single from the record and was another original Christmas song written by Mariah. Although it never came close to the massive success of All I Want for Christmas Is You, the song is an underrated holiday original from Mariah and deserves far more rotation in my opinion. For the 10th anniversary of the song, Mariah re-recorded and re-released it as a new remix with Ariana Grande and Jennifer Hudson. All in all, the idea to create a Christmas album proved to be wise on Mariah's part. It was a decision that she continues to benefit from 30 years after Merry Christmas's initial release. The success of Mariah's Christmas album proved Christmas music could be both profitable and beneficial to an artist still in their prime. Many artists saw the success that Mariah had and still continues to have with the genre and followed suit. However, very few would ever come close to the heights that she reached. It's also worthy of note that Merry Christmas is officially counted as an official studio album in Mariah's discography, whereas most other artists relegate their holiday albums to the category of a side project. It's quite frankly commendable to have a Christmas song that stands the test of time, one that was self-written and produced. In addition to her numerous other accolades and smash hits, Mariah Carey's conquest of the holiday music genre is yet another one of the many reasons why she is a living legend and a remnant of a rapidly fading breed of artists.